And welcome back to the latest anime news for the week ending February 20th, 2020. We have a different setup this week. Thought I would keep everyone on screen while we go through the news, because why not? We're going to talk through the latest anime news of the week, and we're going to start with, not that. We're going to start with this.
Good Lord,
there
not
we
that.
go. More Demon Slayer news, because you cannot stop the Mugen Train. Official announcement of a second season of Demon Slayer TV. We're all stunned.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
It'll be the Entertainment District arc. I don't know.
Oh my boy, my head just went in a direction there.
Wow.
Entertainment director.
Ooh, where that could go.
Yeah. Big shocker. The staff is returning to do the second season because
We made money.
Yeah. Let's just not. Let's just let other people do that. It'll be fine.
Let's just suck this well dry.
Yeah. So that should be just fine. Also, more news about the film. Mugen Train has officially overtaken Your Name. It is now the second highest grossing anime film of all time worldwide, just behind Spirited Away. Well, I say just behind, somewhat behind Spirited Away. It is now at, just double checking, 355 million US dollars worldwide. To give you an idea, actually that can't be right. 1 second. Sorry, 394, 350, yeah, 394 million, because Your Name was 358, and Spirited Away is yeah, so Demon Slayer is 394.33 million. Spirited Away is 395 million.
Wow, that's...
So guess what's gonna happen? Because remember,
It's still...
Demon Slayer has not opened in China
Jeez.
This snowball is getting bigger and bigger.
yet. Yep.
You know, and the people of China are probably just going, we keep hearing about this Mugen Train. What is this thing? I don't know. It's going to hit them like Truck-kun. It's going to run them over like Truck-kun, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I just remembered. We found out last week, they don't allow anime in China. Right? Because Cells at Work is the first new anime in China in like 14 years. So it might not actually come out in China, or at least not immediately. That's an interesting point. Well, North America. It'll do fine.
Yeah,
they're not hurt.
Yeah, here's me. I've just never seen the series, never read the manga. Oh, okay, here's my money. I'll go see it.
Exactly.
I hope the contributors get 1% rather than,
Yeah.
we paid you $50, you got your $50.
Like,
And in indication of that success, Time Magazine has announced that Koyoharu Gotoge, the mangaka behind Demon Slayer, will be on its second annual Time 100 Next list, which highlights the 100 emerging influential people shaping the future. It is the first manga creator on that list.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's impressive.
To give you an idea, there are 150 million copies of Demon Slayer manga available around the world, including digital copies. 30 million of that came in the last 2 months. Yeah.
Do you guys think this will be
I
the...
really need to get my pachinko parlor out.
Yep. Time to waste them.
You guys think this will be the new franchise that sticks around, takes over where some of the others have been dropping off?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
This, I think, is going to be like their Evangelion. This is the it won't stop making money. Like, okay, fine, we're gonna keep on doing this thing forever.
Like at some point it'll be just stick figures and people will be like, yeah, okay.
Yep, I'll buy it. Yeah, pretty crazy. But again, not too surprising for Demon Slayer. One big surprise this week. Kodansha, Shueisha, and Shogakukan announced they are investing in MyAnimeList. Yes. Through a third-party allotment, they'll be investing a total of 1,200 million yen, about $11 million. Together with Mao's parent company, Media Do, who'll be underwriting half of the amount. Yeah.
That is definitely a shocker, because usually we send money to Japan for stuff.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
subsidizing us. They're helping.
Yeah.
They're leveraging us. So that's impressive. That's a nice handshake of, hey, you guys are, our fans, and we're keeping you guys in our thoughts. I mean, and that's putting your money where your mouth is. That's really cool.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And Mao has announced that they're planning to use basically site improvements, making it faster. Thank you. Excuse me. Promoting information exchange.
That's that.
Oh, that's what internet is, isn't
Yeah.
it? I click and I get something. Hey, there we
They'll
go.
also be advancing interconnection between fans and businesses.
Oh.
Oh wow!
Which sounds like an ad to me. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm wondering what.
Or a store, one of the two. But still, they mentioned they need to do some UI UX improvements, multi-language support,
ADA.
their apps, stuff like that. And yeah, our answer is yes.
Yes.
Please do this. So yeah, really remarkable the fact that we're getting these sorts of changes. To a site like Mao, which, let's be honest, has been kind of
Consistent.
Yeah. Well put.
So about a year ago, I guess, when I think it was over a year ago. I think it was Animore, and Brent, you brought up MyAnimeList once. I was like, okay, I'll check this thing out. And, I've never seen it before, and I got on there, and I was just like, oh, okay, this is wow. That didn't do anything. Okay, click here. Wow, that didn't even. Wait, why do I have a virus? What happened here? I was like, is this Manga Fox? I mean, I was just like, holy crap, what's going on here? So it's nice to see that they're actually going to be something.
I wonder if anybody's going to support some of the competing sites like AnyDB or there's another
Analyst. Yeah. I don't know. Matt makes an interesting point. What if this allows those companies access to Mao's data? And so they can see what people in America are looking for. And
like a torrent or...
Well, no, I mean, saying, what should we make an anime of?
What's demand? What demand is there?
Right.
That would be nice to grab the ear of the content creators.
And then there are going to be people like me who are going to be like, let's game the system.
Click on Quiet Country Cafe over and over and over.
Get the dipping bird that hits the mouth.
Bob and Buzzard. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting. We do not know where that's going, but hopefully it'll mean a better Mao, which if nothing else, that would be nice. Also some news about Evangelion. So the Japan Film Classification and Rating Organization posted some information about EVA 3.0 plus 1.0 Twice Upon a Time, and then removed it. So we're not sure what's going on there, but they listed the length of that film as 2 hours and 34 minutes long.
That's long.
Is that really surprising?
It's not.
Because like a 30-minute episode of Evangelion kind of does feel like a couple hours.
That's true. That's like 2 episodes tops of the show. Which makes it one of the longest anime films. The In This Corner and Other Corners of the World 2019 edition of that film is 167 minutes. Final Yamato is 163. Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya is 162.
I like all of those.
Yeah, absolutely. So no thing. But what was more remarkable to us is that it was rated G.
General admission.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, I don't think the TV series could have gotten that.
No.
I don't know the movies. And
how did the get that.
And apparently, so were the other 3 movies. They were all rated G.
Really?
So somebody's thumb slipped?
That's what we were.
Yes.
Thinking.
Unless G means
gosh.
Good Lord.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that one. Oh my! It's going to be interesting. And again, to give you an idea, the 3 previous films were 112, 195 minutes long, respectively. So this is way longer than any of those. It would also explain why it took so long to make the film. It would certainly help.
Eva again.
Yeah. Or G for God knows, to bring it back to to Haruhi. So we will see. We still don't have a drop date for that film. They still have not announced when it's coming out. Again, it was delayed several times. So
look, this is Evangelion. It's going to be delayed forever, and there's going to be snippets brought out periodically. So over the span of the next 5 years, we'll have a full movie. Just keep watching YouTube's just little 2-minute chunks at a time, and that's what we'll get.
Nier Automata did this brilliant thing where they announced a DLC pack, which was the official name of that DLC pack was 3C31D119440927. That's what they named the DLC pack, just so that every time anyone on the internet announces, so there's a new DLC pack, it's called 3C3C1D119440927. It's the most ridiculous name ever. Which I think is kind of why Eva just used that the 3.0 1.0 thing, just to screw with people.
Because that's what Eva does.
That is what Eva does. Pretty much.
It's not about the angels. It's not about Shinji. It's just about the people there at the studio going, getting annoyed yet? Not touching you. Not touching you.
I completely agree. So Vin, according to ANN, in this corner of the world, the 2019 edition is the longest. It is 167 minutes.
167 minutes.
Yeah, which is a long movie.
But it was sub-story.
Yeah.
So
a lot going on. Love the.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen that edition.
Yeah.
In this corner of the world.
2019 edition. I think I might have seen a different edition.
Yeah. Extended version with new title. It added 30 more minutes of footage.
Oh wow! So I've got to go back and watch this again.
Which
30 minutes. Who knows? That's like a whole short story.
Includes Suzu crossing paths with Rin in the fall of 1944 and the winter and spring of 45. Interesting. So more about Rin, the mother. If you've seen the movie, her. So more about that character. Interesting. Anyway, so that's Eva. Eva screwing with people. Again, no big surprise. Speaking of interesting anime. Oops. There we go. There is a YouTube channel called Animator Dormitory Channel. And they've been releasing a series of videos of residents in their dorms about what it's like to be an animator in Japan.
So that's animators living in dormitories who are like professionally animating.
Mm-hmm. Professionally animating in Japan. And so the idea is it's hard to make a living, so they have these dormitories which provide very cheap living space.
So there's a lot of screaming involved?
Probably.
Several people to a room.
What can I do?
Timeshare beds.
And they talked about how much money they make. And they mentioned a particular animator who started working in April and made a total of about $6,000 US in 2019.
For the entire year.
For the entire year. Average of $670.
$6,000, and this is where Tokyo?
Yes, as I understand it.
That'll buy you like a month of ramen.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to say that per month they usually make about $270 to $450 per month, depending on the studio. The animator in question is both a freelancer and a full-time staff member. was doing both during those months, so alternating between those two things. They said freelancing earned a little bit more, and they said one of the issues is that animators usually paid for a project all at once, and more towards the end of the production.
Oh, God.
And so basically it comes later than usual, and you just kind of get this one lump sum.
Yeah.
And now you got to kind of make that last and all that.
Now I can eat.
Yeah, exactly. In the first month they made $130 after taking a break. Now, a couple things about this. A, obviously very low. B, as you can see from this, salaries do increase over time, and one of the big complexities here that the anime industry has responded to is that salary starts low, but then increases as you get more time in the industry. So that is kind of that thing there. Also, it has to be pointed out, this is the official YouTube channel for the dormitory, making a video about how nice it is to have a dormitory that is saving costs. So there is a financial incentive for them to make that look as
austere,
as serious as possible. I'm not saying that they're wrong.
Appreciative but austere.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting because one of the difficulties is I don't know if the dormitory is free, if it's cheap, and what are the resources they have available to them. So that's another question mark. So it is difficult to say. And that said, I mean, we've known for decades this has been a problem that you just you get paid. Nobody expects their first couple of years as an animator to be a full-time livable salary.
Well, I mean, it's in all seriousness, it's kind of like acting. It's very much like acting, where your first gigs, there's a reason why actors are waiters and waitresses. There's a reason for that. But then as you go along and you get better at it, and you join now. I'm sure they don't have much of a union over there for this stuff, but for actors they do over here. It's called equity, and so you get better roles and you get better stuff like that. So I'm sure that's the way it is there too. But still, even if you have like an incentive, like maybe you went to school for this and this is the dormitory that you get into as a break-in into the industry, it's still kind of shocking to hear a stipend of $6,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's and then it's paid out in basically at the beginning and at the end.
Yeah.
And one of the problems is that and like you say in acting, one of the problems is you are competing with
all the other
animators who've been around forever and who are incredibly insanely good
and hungry, ready to do
and hungry and
cut budget just.
Mm-hmm. And the other problem too is there's a certain amount of nepotism too, just inherent in the fact that this director has worked with these 6 animators on the last 3 projects. I know what you can do.
I don't know what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
I go with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's tough. It is absolutely tough. And so worth pointing out, worth being aware of. Not much we can do about it, sadly.
I'm just imagine like how that would even work. Like a union for these guys.
Yeah, do they have labor unions in Japan, or is that
they do have labor unions, but it's different. It's and their teeth aren't as sharp as they are here. And it's one of those things where it's kind of like if you ever in Shin-Chan, when Shin-Chan becomes, he puts on the bandana and he starts making the little demands of his mother and stuff, and then she just turns around and says no, and he sulks in the corner. That is actually a direct statement on Japanese unions, because they make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
They make a lot of noise, but then the people with the money and the power turn around and say no, and they just go, oh, screw you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very different. And yeah, Game Escape, it's been this way for a while. The reason the industry is, again, this isn't the way it is for decades. You get in and the traditional thing, as I understand it, is you go to stay with your parents for the first year or two. You live with them, and you take your meals there. and so all of that money is just money you're taking in. You don't need it, so to speak. And then once you get on your feet, then you actually move out and do your thing, and that is kind of the way that works. So people are aware that is kind of a process. And it's one of the odd things is that most people are not trying to make a living as an animator for their first couple of years because they know that's the process.
This is a good question here.
Yeah.
How do they still get people to enter the industry?
For that reason, because they know that the industry isn't because they know
it's not going to last forever. I'm going to make the next Demon Slayer and I will dominate. Or at least that's a hope.
And I'm just thinking about how, like, here in America, like, literally, like, if I told my parents after I graduated from college, hey, I'm going to live at home for a couple of years and bank the money, they would look at me and go, no, you're not.
And you'll pay rent, and
you'll pay, right? You're going to pay your share of the utilities, and we know you like having 5 fans on at the same time, so good luck with saving money there, pal.
Well, and it's like, why do independent comics exist?
Right.
Those don't pay.
Labor of love.
Yeah.
That's about
That's it. Yeah.
And that's why I like getting a chance to talk with folks who are creators who are just doing this. Hey, I'm losing money on this, but I love doing it because there's like a raw energy. It's like when a band releases their first few albums, they're not super polished, but they have the enthusiasm, the love, the drive, and sometimes after they get super polished, they sometimes become sort of jaded and don't quite have that raw energy. And so I guess kind of like
yeah, absolutely. And speaking of new faces, that transitions perfectly into our next news story. Yoon Draw is an animator and illustrator who announced on Friday that they are going to release a short theatrical anime film that they're going to do. They actually published a 1-minute preview of the short film. If you've seen Makoto Shinkai's early film, why am I blanking?
The Distant Star.
Thank you, Voice of a Distant Star.
Voice of a Distant Star.
Think something like that. So still a little rough, still a little unpolished, but beautiful. Excuse me, a lot of effort put into it, obviously. The concept movie, which perhaps ironically is titled The Closest Distant Star. Yeah. Yoon Draw was the director, producer, character designer, animation director, art director, director of photography, and editor.
How many hats is that?
Wow.
I
Exactly.
did everything.
Exactly.
I got the coffee. I fed the cats.
Yep, totally.
I rugged the yard.
So it's very exciting to see somebody come in and do something.
It looks beautiful.
On their own. It looks lovely. Clearly, effort. Clearly, trying to make a name for themselves, and it's gonna be cool to see something like that. Come out, and it's kind of how Makoto Shinkai started. I'm gonna make this thing all on my own.
How did he have enough energy to do all that?
No.
That's just insane amounts of work.
You should see me earlier today when I was doing the stuff for the panel, pre-recording for the panel, talking about energy and just setting up, the everything in here so I could have a decent studio.
Yeah.
And just like at the end of it, I was just like, what was I doing?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. And to be clear, like this feels like a trailer. This 1-minute short film. There are tons of shots in it, lots of different camera angles. It's not, panning across a field for 20 seconds, right? Like they're really putting time into that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Moving on to some new anime announcements. Dota 2 is getting a new anime thanks to Netflix. So Dota Dragon's Blood has been announced as an 8-episode animated series coming to Netflix on March 25th, 2021. So in a month.
Next month.
Yeah. I mean that's
even sooner.
Yeah. It was produced by Studio Mir, who made 2 little shows you may have heard of called The Legend of Korra and Voltron Legendary Defender.
Okay.
So I think.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. So that is pretty darn awesome. And I think it's one of those things where if you like Dota 2, you're in. And we'll see where that goes. We also have some news. The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated as a different world as an aristocrat is coming to TV as an anime series, light novel adaptation. A great assassin is reborn into another world who finds himself heir to a long line of killers from the shadows. He combines his modern-day knowledge and experience with the magic of the new world, which might make him the most unstoppable assassin in history, but he'll probably fall in love. So,
at first I was like, wait a minute, Lupin, what?
So we'll see. That is coming. I do not see in the article information on an air date. Masafumi Tamura, Misfit of Demon King Academy, and Tukar is directing it, and Katsuhiko Takayama, also of Tukar, and Anga Vierge and Future Diary is writing and overseeing series scripts. So that is cool. Also note that Token Ranbu Hanamaru is being adapted into a trilogy of anime films. Excuse me. It is based on a sword personification training game. Yes. Classic swords personified as pretty boys. That is your anime. And if you heard about that and were like, then it's for you, right? That is coming up. And then finally, Bocchi the Rock is getting a TV anime. This is based on a 4-coma, about a lonely high school girl who strums her guitar all day alone until she one day happens to meet somebody who needs a guitarist for her band.
Rock on, girl!
Exactly. Looks cute. Very much moe, very K-On!-esque in terms of the general art style and approach, I think. So we'll see where that goes, but that is fun to hear.
You know what I would like to see? Another music anime like Beck.
Yeah!
That was great. Oh, I love Beck.
Yeah, that was good. I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the band who did they just got together and they did all the music from the anime. Cool. And they would play at the Matsuri at the Okan here.
Cool.
Baltimore Convention Center.
Was made to hit
America.
America. But yeah, I'd really want to see another. I started watching Con a little bit, and I'm like, going, okay, this is kind of cute, and it's really not about them being a band. It's whatever. But I saw that, and I've seen a couple others, and I was like, okay, that's fine. But I really want to see like a real band one, like Beck was, where Beck kind of starts off pretty on his own, finds the band, screws it up, and then keeps on going, and it's just. What it reminds me of is that it's the music for that anime kind of reminds me a little bit of the music for Fooly Cooly in that the band that does the pillows.
The pillows,
right? Yeah, the pillows. It just did it totally for the anime, and it's just their sound is so different than anything else, and it was just such a nice. Different thing to listen to. That's a great music video. I don't know how they did it, but they have their hair all slicked back, the three of them in the band, and they're wearing glasses, and it does the simple chord, and then they go into it, right, and they all go down, and you don't see them. And they come back in camera, and their hair all goes spiked up, and their glasses are
wow.
And the rest of it is just, and they're inside this like machine warehouse, and there's all these pipes and everything, and there's puppets all around, like turning valves and stuff, and it's just kind of weird. It's just, but just watch it. It's really great. But of course, the best thing about Fooly Cooly, other than the season 1, I didn't really like seasons 2 and 3, but throughout they did the music throughout the whole thing. Through all the seasons, wow. So you can actually get like this huge box set of the pillows doing it.
Wow!
And it's just I love their music. But that's why I liked Beck, was because I felt like the music was a little bit more genuine and just really neat.
And with bands, there's so much tension and drama and struggle, and there are a lot of stories that could be put into that. Not just the relationship within the band, but the external pressures and
like the managers and the Mm-hmm.
So if anyone likes Mystery Science Theater 3000,
yes,
look up on YouTube the clip. The band that played California Lady.
Yes,
look that clip up. They do a 80s behind the music documentary of this band. It's in this one clip, and it's the classic. They got together and then their album, and they broke apart, and the girl showed up, and the booze and the drugs and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, yep, that's every band.
Yep,
pretty much.
I gotta say, Spinal Tap is.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Tap, absolutely.
But this goes to 11. See, it goes from 10 to 11, and this is what your bones look inside. Yeah, they're green. They're green.
But couldn't you just adjust the numbers?
Could you just but it's 11.
It's 11.
I told them once. I told them 1,000 times. Put the band above the puppets. Oh.
Is that inches? That's feet.
Yeah.
That's feet.
I'm sorry. For all of you in the chat lane who don't know Spinal Tap, you've got to watch this movie. You have got to. Just to see a 3-foot-tall Stonehenge being lowered.
So we were just watching, to get off anime for a second, a British show called The Goes Wrong Show. And the premise is that it's a group of theatrical players putting on a play, and everything goes wrong. And one of the episodes features a set that is too small because they, inches to centimeters, whatever. And they revealed behind the scenes that this was inspired by something that actually happened to them on a play that they did. Where they ordered something for the set, and it came in. It was supposed to be this, like a big statue or something, and it came in, that big. And it turned out okay. Like, they just put it on set, and it didn't matter. It was part of the background. But they were like, this actually happens. Wow, this is Spinal Tap. Actually happens in real life.
Don't feel bad. NASA had the issue with the metric.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
Happens to the best of us.
Now, do you like Hunter x Hunter? Would you like to guide the characters of Hunter x Hunter through an escape room?
Oh.
Despite the fact that they don't actually exist. Well,
an escape room.
A company called Scrap has announced that they are going to do a Hunter x Hunter escape room thing, where you are basically, it's going to be online, well, virtual. You will receive a package of material where you will communicate to the characters of Hunter x Hunter who are going through an escape room, basically. And you have to unfold clues and do various things to get them out of this environment. And the cool thing is, you basically get a bunch of card stock that unfolds into basically a dungeon. And you get information from them about what unfolds in what way to show what things are. And then as time goes on, they go, oh no, shift this around, move this around, slot this over here.
A moving labyrinth.
Exactly. It's changed around. Now tell us where things are going.
Wow.
So you have this physical object.
That actually sounds pretty cool, but I know myself, and I would just figure out ways just to, no. I know that looks like the safe way. No. You want to go the other way. Go the other way. That's danger. I know, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's all a trick. It will cost 3,000 yen for the standard kit, or 4,000 for the premium kit, which comes with a mug and a challenge letter written from Hisoka.
Oh.
Yeah. Available for pre-order March 1st. And it'll run for a limited time of 3 months from late March through late June. Interesting idea.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to play out. It sounds like it may set some trends if it gets folks involved.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really does sound interesting, especially if you have something at home and where it's not just on the computer just digitalizing. You actually have something that you can move around
and being able to
just manipulate.
Three-dimensional, see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ability to, and then having an artifact, if you will, from this thing you did. That's pretty cool.
And what's even better is that I'm not in the room getting frustrated.
yeah. You have to let me out of this room. I gotta pee.
Okay, that would happen to me. I'd be like, okay, before this starts, that's the corner. What do you mean that's the corner? That's the corner.
That's my corner. I'm gonna mark it.
Yeah. No word on whether gone heals any serial murders in it. We do not know that yet. Moving on to some music news.
Yeah, $40.
Yeah, $40 is not bad. Several Studio Ghibli films are getting a vinyl release coming up here. Anime International has announced 4 vinyl records joining their collection with remastered songs from Ponyo, The Wind Rises, and Tale of Princess Kaguya, with new covers, which look pretty darn gorgeous.
Wow.
So we get Ponyo with 2 covers, Wind Rises and Kaguya. First Ponyo soundtrack will have 10 tracks, including 6 vocal tracks. Let's see here. Other 3 releases will feature orchestral versions of the music from Ponyo, The Wind Rises, and Tale of Princess Kaguya. So 2 Ponyo records, 1 Wind Rises, 1 Kaguya, all with scores by, of course, Joe Hisaishi. Pre-orders up now, with the prices ranging from $36 to $45 roughly.
So basically, I do not have, unfortunately, a actual needle stereo with which to play vinyl, but knowing me, that's what I will spend my money on.
Okay,
I will have it. That's there's the money dump right there.
Yeah.
But but I can only just imagine what the cover art's going to be like, what the notes are going to be like inside, and what the little label on the record's going to be like. I mean, that right there is the price of admission. That's really what you're getting.
Yeah.
That right there. And I'm sure the music is always good, but for me, that's honestly what I would be getting.
I miss albums because there are certain things you can do with albums that you just can't do with. Well, you can't do with CD, and you definitely can't do with a digital download.
Yeah.
I remember the original Dark Side of the Moon with Pink Floyd was a gatefold cover, and inside when you bought it, there were 2 posters, 2 stickers. I mean, you could put this stuff up on your wall. And
oh my God, the Beach Boys 1976 album, double album that they put out had that. It was a huge thing that actually was it went out 4. So you'd open it up and you open it up again. They had 2 pieces of cardstock in there where you could cut out lapels and like bend the little thing back and stick into your thing like that into your shirt, and they had stickers and the whole 9 yards, and this thing is just like huge. And of course, the value of it today, if you kept it, was
and didn't cut out the lapels.
It is all in box. It's just astronomical. But yeah, it's stuff like that. Stuff like there's that's the one thing I do miss is album covers. You're right, and there is a certain sound to analog that you don't get with digital.
And if you want to go to Crunchyroll's news, they do have images of the covers on there, if you're curious what those look like. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah. You
are not a true Studio Ghibli fan unless you own all the vinyl records.
Stacks of wax.
Exactly. Whether you can play them or not, it doesn't matter. You must
Stacks of wax. I haven't heard that in years.
Yeah. Monty Python's Matching Tie and Handkerchief. I have that on vinyl.
Oh wow.
Cool. That's an excellent one.
That's really cool.
Wow. It kind of slides out in the
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Finally this week, if you want to experience JoJo in real life, and let's face it, who doesn't? There will be a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure themed pop-up theme park running from March 5th to May 9th in Yokohama called JoJo World in Yokohama. It'll have a bunch of mini games.
How'd they come up with that?
Exactly. A roulette, the ancient Roman chariot deathmatch ball lottery, Joestar One Party World Tour, a digital dice race game, And then a let's go to the manga creator's house thing, which does not sound like a good idea to me.
We're all
bad
gonna
precedent.
just send off.
Bad precedent. Where the players can engage in a conversation with Rohan Kishibe.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And then finally, a test we can determine if you're fit to join the Passion Gang.
Oh dear Lord!
And of
I'll
course,
pass.
there will also be merch for sale.
Can you imagine the mascots for that?
Oh.
Like, can you just see the outfits just built up? I mean, it's got to be ridiculous. They got to be ridiculous.
I want to see that. Like, I really need to see the people who fit a mascot character for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh my! But do we really? I don't know.
I didn't say I want to interact with them. I just wanted to see what would exist there. So that'll happen. It'll be in a mall to give you an idea of the scale of it. So probably not the most massive thing, but still fun to see. That's all the news for this week. We'll be right back in a few minutes with some more stuff. See you then.